Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has come down a little lower after the last update. I gave you, however, the resistance area already in the last video. We did leave that one unchanged. Bitcoin maxed it out already. Does that mean the low is in? Well, I haven't got any evidence for that at this stage. We have to be a bit flexible with the microstructure because the move to the downside is not clearly it's not clearly an impulse, so it might morph into some kind of a messy diagonal structure, which might use then these trend lines, for example, here. Yeah, so something like that. Diagonals often follow trend lines, so don't be so much focused on the micro resistance levels. Micro resistance is at 41,740, but really the invalidation point for the immediate sell-off is here at the wave 2 high, but I shared that with you in the last video. There's a difference between resistance, initial resistance, and the invalidation point. Invalidation point is $42,400, and as long as that level isn't broken to the upside, I think we can focus further on the downside in a still unfolding C wave. However, that's gonna take shape. So the micro count, as always, we have to be a bit flexible with that. They are more like placeholders. What is more important than focusing on the micro count is an impulse to the upside going to show in a fifth wave to the upside before we break below $34,070? That's really the main question that has to be asked. Let me actually take that triangle shape out. We don't need that anymore. But that's the main question also that most people should really be concerned with. Not if it's going to do another tiny low or because there's going to be a lot of messing around here. This is a correction still, and especially if the move to the downside is going to be a diagonal, and we will have the first evidence that this is a diagonal is going to unfold or come to the surface once we see a break above 41,740, because that's really impulsive resistance. So a break above the 50% fib level will indicate that this is not going to be an impulse down in wave C, but a diagonal. It's already very much overlapping, so very open to the idea we could see a diagonal. With diagonals, as you know, we have to prepare for frequent wave count changes, and I might change the wave count here a bit. But bigger picture is very important, which is that we wanted to see an A wave in this wave 4 correction, done. We wanted to see a B wave in this wave 4 correction, done. Well, there's still the possibility that it extends. That is still a bullish alternative, okay? But I would need to see further evidence for that. Just be aware that this is still possible, especially given that we haven't taken out the low of the A wave. So that's at 40,160. That really needs to be taken out. But yeah, Bitcoin, the good news is if it's not a very aggressive sell-off, which is not, then we have time to accumulate. We have time to figure out, where exactly we are in the context, because sometimes these impulses, as you can see here, that happen so quickly, people get caught out, right? So if we have a nice and easy sell-off, yeah, it can be a bit boring, but at least we can count the waves. We can figure out where we are in the process, take our time. At least first of all, that's not bearish. That's actually quite bullish. If a diagonal to the downside is unfolding. So it's pretty good. So 3 waves down with a C wave as a diagonal. It's pretty good. And again, the main question isn't really if we're going to see one more micro low or whatever. The main question is an impulse going to show to the upside before we break below $34,070? So there's still a lot of space to the downside, lots of space. We're not breaking below support at this stage. We're far away from support. Expect there to be ups and downs along the way. Nothing's going to go down in a straight line. There needs to be a constant breathing in, breathing out in the market. It's just that it's breathing out a little bit more in the downtrend. But this is currently seen only as pullback in an overall uptrend. So we've got support levels at 39,260. That would be a key level to reach, not only because it's the first main Fibonacci support, it's also, if I look at Fibonacci extensions, it is the 100% extension level of the A wave that is a key target for a C wave. Let me just adjust these. But see here, it's just below that actually. It's around $39,050, $39,060. But there's good confluence in this area here. And ideally we get there in the C wave. The question will then be, okay, does that mean that all of wave 4 is finished? Or is it only going to be the first A wave, which can be a 3-wave move of a much more extended A, B, C correction, yeah? So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at here. At the moment, we are obviously moving, as I've added in this video, we're moving in this kind of trend channel. Let me adjust that as well. Don't like those massive lines on the chart. So yeah, we have this trend channel that is probably going to be respected if the C wave itself is unfolding as a diagonal, because it could be a diagonal. Let me take the nano count out of the chart. Yeah, could be. Question is then, okay, then this might be a 1, because then we get to a nice diagonal count, 1, 2. Question is also, you know, where did the B end? There are possibilities to count the B here, but probably at the top. Then we have a 1, 2. Then this could be A, B, C in wave 3. Wave 3 might be done. Then this could be 4. In that case, resistance might need to be lifted a bit. But as I said, don't focus so much on the immediate resistance. We'll focus on the trend channel, and then we'll have a look how far this wave 4 needs to extend. But as long as it doesn't show a clear impulse to the upside, we haven't got any signal that a low is in place. But just expect this to be messy. As I said many times, normally we don't really want to trade within a correction. Yeah, I think the best approach for most people will be to use the $34,070 level. If you want to trade this as a setup, that's up to you. Note that below 34,070, it can go down quite quickly to 29K. But if you just want to trade this, I'm not trading it like that. But you could use, because I would just buy spot and just sort of add to my positions. I don't even care about stop loss here, not on the Bitcoin chart, because positions would be small on the way down, just accumulating Bitcoin. Yeah. But yeah, having that triangle, position size, stop below the low, and just accumulating, yeah, in a triangle, you know, that shows you the position size. That's how I would normally scale into positions. Not with Bitcoin so much. I would rather like just add to my core position, to be honest, in a bullish market. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's the situation. We're still in the correction. I have no evidence that a low is in place. Yes, larger bounces to the upside have to be expected in corrections. That's normal, especially as we've seen now that this is not a clear impulse down. Probably not. Probably not. It could still form an impulse. It depends on where I put the B, okay? There are ways to count it here, but it would be truncated. So it's probably better here. And then we've got our diagonal down. Looks better as well. Yeah, but levels are clear. Levels are clear. Trend channel should be clear. And I'll keep you updated. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.